Everybody, it's Tyler checking in with team number 3313 Mechatronics, coming in from Alexandria. I'm here with Sarah and Cody. We'll be talking more about this modified 2020 robot, some of the capabilities, of course, power cell going through, and climber all here on Behind the Bumpers.
Giving you a voice.
Making it loud our own way.
Welcome to the fun.
If you're on an FRC or FTC team and you're currently meeting safely in person and have a functional robot, we'd love to have you on our Behind the Bots or Behind the Bumpers segments. Go ahead and reach out to us on any of our social channels, on Discord, or send us an email at admin@firstupdatesnow.com, and let's get your team scheduled to be on First Updates Now. You can also directly support Fun by joining Fun Nation. Click the join button, and just for a few bucks a month, you'll unlock special perks and directly support us so we can keep making great content. So Sarah, talk to me about your intake here, some of the capabilities of it, and then we'll kind of go into as it feeds into the shooter as well.
For sure. So starting with our intake, it folds up easily just like that for starting prep, and then it just flops right down when we start driving. We intake with these rubber wheels right here, and they spin, and we use this Rhino track right in the middle to intake up our robot. It's actually a recycled piece from one of our old community robots. We love recycling those parts. And that's mostly how it works. We can reverse it if something gets crammed too, so no worries there.
So two questions on that. So the intake, it comes down and it's down for the entire match, right?
Yes.
And then on here as well too, there's a little red light that I see. Is that like a photo gate that you use for the power cells?
For sure, yes. So that tracks our power cells when they enter into our track, so it will stop intaking so we can get our next power cell in. So we don't have one at the top and one at the bottom. So they're evenly spaced out.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Another question for you on here is that from this type of intake, from this drop-down, has your team done drop-down intakes before?
Not that have we? Yes, we have.
Okay, so the question I ask on that is that from an experience standpoint, have you learned anything from this type of drop-down intake that maybe apply for future years?
Yeah, I mean, just always have like a bumper to stop it when it comes down and hold it up. One of our issues is this camera right here. I mean, we can't really see with it, so we gotta like adjust that sometimes, but besides that, it works perfectly fine.
Fair enough. So let's move over next into the shooter on your robot and talking about how it goes into the shooter. And then I know shooter is something that you did some modifications for, so tell me about what was modified as well.
Okay, no problem. Well, starting with the hopper, we didn't really have a hopper piece for our robot. Instead, the intake simply moves directly into the shooter right up this Rhino track. And then for the shooter, we have these two wheels here, spin out, and the ball simply launches out. Then for our one modification we did, we added this slight ramp. We figured out that the angle of the shot was not very good originally. It was too low. So we needed to somehow boost the ball up a little bit further. And through a little bit of trial and error, we added this metal plate right here.
Trial and error and a mallet, it looks like.
Actually, it was a lot of hand molding, seeing as it's a very thin piece of metal.
Fair enough. Question to ask on this. So
no problem.
You guys have motors driving each one. Are the wheels spinning at the same speed?
They actually are not, simply because, once again, due to trial and error, we had to find two different speeds for these to spin at, so that way we would shoot the ball straight rather than at an angle.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense with that. Let's move on to your scissor lift climber here. Talk to me a little bit more about that.
All right, so for our climb mechanism, we decided to have it fold around the robot instead of trying to add something else, simply because it saves space. We don't want to shoot something out if we don't have to.
Sure.
And then for this, it's all run by the motor right here, which will raise it up and lift it down using this, as we will now demonstrate.
While that's working, a question asked is that scissor lifts aren't too common in FIRST anymore. It's kind of something that back in my day we saw more on robots. Why did you choose a scissor lift for an option?
Once again, we simply chose it because it can easily fold around the robot rather than having to go in or be pushed out earlier. It can just simply fold down around, save a lot of space, and save a lot of time.
All right, yeah, let's see it work and go up.
Mm-hmm. So as you can see, it doesn't always go up perfectly straight, but usually when it gets to the top, it will straighten out on its own.
Sure. But during the match, do you fully park and then lift this up, or are you actually lifting it up as you're driving over to the switch?
We actually stop, center ourselves, then lift it up, and then adjust as necessary.
Sure.
And once we have it up, sometimes this will get a little bit loose, as you can see here. Then we simply draw it back down. And once we have the climb right where we want it, so we tend to try and go all the way up, so that way we have a little bit of variable space to go down.
Sure.
We will shoot this pin right here out into here, and that holds the entire robot up.
That makes sense. Gotcha. Well, 3313 Mechatronics, once again, thanks for taking the time to speak with us about your team, about your robot and capabilities, and good luck here at this competition and hopefully in future ones as well. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you want more fun content, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Watch our live shows at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow. Join our Discord at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow and check out Fun FTC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and First Updates Now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. You can also directly support Fun by joining Fun Nation. Click the join button, and just for a few bucks a month, you'll unlock special perks and directly support us so we can keep making great content.